Just saw a bass on this bed right next to me. Definitely might have spooked, but always give it a shot. Got him. Oh, it's a nice one. It is a humid and overcast day here on the lake. Today I'm going to focus on bed fishing tactics. The baits to use, how to get the fish to bite, how to locate beds, all the above. Hopefully I'll be able to show you a good example here. So this whole lake, 5 to 20 feet out from the bank, is lined with reeds and lily pads. And those are really thick, and fish like to sit in them, but these little openings right here are absolutely perfect for those fish to create beds, like right on the edges and stuff, especially since it's the spring, and a lot of times people won't have been in the water yet, so those fish could still be staging there. So I'm looking for any sort of disturbance in those reeds to start off. If I don't see anything, I'm gonna start blind casting. The number one thing you definitely need when you're bed fishing is a pair of polarized glasses. It helps so much with cutting through the water, cutting through that glare. The jig that I'm starting off with is a 1/2 ounce finesse jig, kind of that orange and brown pumpkin color with a craw trailer. It's pretty small. I like the more compact baits when you're fishing beds because the fish will just pick it up to try and move it off of their bed. If you have a bait with a really big profile, they could easily just grab the bait without grabbing the hook, which I've seen them do so many times. I find that red and orange works really well in the springtime. I think it's because they're feeding up on craws and stuff. Whether you're fishing rattle traps, crankbaits, whatever it might be, I've just found that the red and the orange are really effective. I'm making multiple casts in each little area. And if they won't eat this jig, I'll pitch in a Senko on the edges of these weed lines and a little shallower too. Just saw a fish surface way back in there. There he is. Got him. Came off. So that gave me information though, that fish was so shallow in here that maybe I need to focus more on the really shallow stuff back inside of these lily pad lines than I do on the outside. This tree looks really good. Got eaten instantly. Okay, so they're definitely up really shallow. I think I can confirm that. Got one. Yes, sir. First fish of the day on the Senko. There he is. Come here. Good hook set. Yeah. So after that last bite, I concluded that I thought these fish might be a lot more shallow than I thought. And so instead of concentrating the outside of the weed lines, I started concentrating inside in these transition between where the reeds are and where the lily pads are. And that took about 2 minutes. So I'll let her go. Ew. We'll use that information now. Keep on working the inside of these reeds. See if we can get a bigger one. Nice, good start. The two main species I'm targeting, obviously the target is largemouth, but the very common bycatch is the chain pickerel. So areas like this, there's a fallen tree and creates like a little cut bank. There's not a lot of reeds and pads and stuff. So, oh, got him. Oh, don't come off. Yeah, how about that? I was literally about to say there has to be a fish on it. Nice fish, let's let her go. Right back to her bed. Whew. That's fish number 2. I think we're 2 for 4 in our hookup to landing. I see a couple of beds. They look like bluegill beds. After I feel confident that I've worked the area, I like to go over it with the kayak, take a look at it, see what I was casting to, So like I see a bed right there. See this? Yeah, this looks like a big patch of bluegill beds. Yep, no one's home. And I move to the next spot. He's on it. Got him. Nice. Just a little guy. Another nice Massachusetts largemouth. Back in the water. Nice. I think I have a really good understanding of where these fish are. I think that's the third fish I've landed. They've all been around the same, similar sort of stuff. They're in like the little breaks in the reeds and the lily pads. That's where they are. So if I had just stuck with what I thought would work at the beginning, which was the edges of the lilies and stuff like that, I think I know I wouldn't be doing as well as I'm doing now. So, trying different angles, different retrieve styles, really giving those fish a chance to eat it if they are there. He's got it. Got him. Oh, it's a much better fish. Much better fish. He's gonna jump. Nice. Come on now. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think the video might have been messed up, but this is fish number 4. Same thing that I've been fishing the whole time, the little gap of clean water where there are no reeds and no lilies. And he chomped it as soon as it hit the water. Let's release her. Woo! Nice. It's starting to rain. Was not in the forecast. It's drizzling now. Super overcast, calm, and I can literally hear the frogs croaking. So I think that's a sign that I need to throw the frog. Using this black Booyah Pad Crasher, I'm just gonna flip it up way into some of this really shallow stuff, the stuff that I was catching fish on with the Senko. Times you would want to fish a frog are like during low light for sure. It's just sunrise, sunset, overcast conditions. You don't really want to fish your hollow body frogs in open water. If I'm looking for like areas I can fish topwater that don't have structure, then I'm gonna fish a popper or a whopper plopper, something of that nature. Got him. Oh, it's a good one. Yeah. What did I say? What did I say? I mean, that was like my 3rd or 4th cast with the frog. Same exact stuff that I was catching them on with the Senko. Just talking about perfect conditions. I've been recording for 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and I took my first cast at the beginning of the video. So, I think they want the frog. It's gonna be hard for me to put them down. See ya, girl. Give us a jump. Oh. Like, what beats topwater frog action? I think it's probably my favorite way to catch them. And these fish are so shallow, like 6 inches. I'm sitting in like a foot of water probably, and I'm casting up to the bank. So they're on these flats, spawning flats. Man, I'm not gonna be able to put this frog down now. Okay, so I just missed a fish on a frog way back there, and Senko is the perfect follow-up bait. Caught so many fish following up frog bites and stuff with a Senko. Yep. Oh, what is that? Pickerel? Yep. Like I said, follow-up bait. Casted right behind where this ambitious little pickerel came up and hit my frog. And a lot of times they'll hit the frog and they miss it. They're kind of in that feeding mode still. They're gonna look around them. Anything that hits the water around them, they're gonna go towards. And if they like it, a lot of times, they'll just slurp it right down. So I find that's more the case with top water than anything. I don't really pitch a follow-up bait in there if I get like hit on a Texas rig or on a jig or something. In terms of getting eaten a second time, the fish are much, much, much more likely to eat the Senko than they are to blow up on your top water again. There's not a lot of structure in this lake, but there's a pipe going into the water right here. So I'm gonna feel pretty confident that there's gonna be a fish right there. A couple of bass probably made their beds right along that pipe, have protection on one side. I'm kind of bringing it off of the pipe on an angle, and I'm working it from back to front. Oh, he's got it. Got him. That's a big fish. Oh my gosh. Don't come off. Oh, it came off. No, that was a really big fish. Might need to retie now. Like I was saying, you gotta fish these really slow. So I had already dragged my bait over that area. Another blow up on the frog way out there. See if my Senko will do the trick. He's got it. Got him. Don't come off. He's still on there. Might be a pickerel, I don't know. No! No freaking way. I really just need a stronger rod to be able to pull him out of this stuff. Well, this deal is working. Casting around with the frog. If they miss a blow up, then flip the Senko in there and they've hit it pretty much every time. I think I've determined what I need to do is to just stop making really long casts. When I cast in there with the Senko in a long cast, because I'm just getting like no chance to bring that fish in. So a lot of bluegill will mess with your Senko if that's what you're throwing. You learn what the bites feel like. Some people say it's like a machine gun, like brrr, sort of thing. Oh, on the frog. Come on, baby. Oh, that's a great fish. That's a great fish. That's a great fish. Yeah. Nice. Man, did he smoke that frog. Just barely got him though. A little football of a fish. Let's let her go. Nice. Frog fish. I freaking love it. Oh. Got him. No. Broke my frog off. Oh, it was a pickerel. I just saw the fish. Well, I lost my frog on that last fish, so just tied on a new frog. I picked that frog knowing that there was a good chance I was gonna lose it though. That frog has caught so many fish, bass, pike, pickerel. This one I think is a live target, so definitely a little bit expensive. Wouldn't be super pumped if I lost it. Kind of coming to the end of this stretch of lily pads. I don't really know what's on the other side. Hopefully there's more, so I think I just have to keep moving through this stuff and it's being pretty productive. And if I don't find more of the same sort of stuff, I'm gonna go to a different part of the lake. Just saw a bass on this bed right next to me. Definitely might have spooked, but always give it a shot. Got him. Oh, what is this? Oh my god. Oh, it's a nice one. Nice fish. Yeah. How insane is that? I knew I saw him on the bed. Dropped it right on it. Came up, crunch. See ya. Back to your bed. Dang. That is so cool. Came here to this island. This is the only island in the lake. I've caught fish here in the past, but it gets pressured pretty hard. You know, a lot of people's first instinct is to come here. Oh, my frog. Oh, it's a pickerel. Slimy boy. Fat little guy. Oh, man. There he goes. Easy release. Didn't chafe my line. Hit it once and then he missed it. Came back. So if you're in the middle of your cast and the fish hits it, let it pause for half a second. See if he'll hit it where it is again, and then if not, pop it a little aggressively so we can hear where it is and it can come out and eat it again. And when the fish hits it, as like much as your instinct's gonna want to set the hook immediately, you've got to give that fish time to turn around and go back into the water with it. If you set it too early, you're just not gonna get nearly as good of a hookup ratio as you would if you're patient. One more cast in here with the Senko, a couple casts with the frog, and I think I'm gonna move on to another area. So I just tied the jig back on. Since that sun is out, I think I'm gonna wait a little while to keep throwing that frog. There's also a lot of deeper beds in this lake, like I can see a bed right here. Again, the polarized glasses are game changers. They help so much with this sort of stuff. Yeah. Got one on a jig. That little finesse jig I was talking about earlier. Little dude, smoked it. That was much deeper. So yep. Oh! What in the world? That was like a 4-pounder just jumped out of the water. I guess my line must have bumped her. I think she was the one who hit me. Dang. Holy cow. Hope you could see that on video. Herring jumping right next to me. Look at that. Wow. All right, in the last hour and a half of the day, didn't really get anything on the jig except for that one. Now that the sun is behind these trees, I've tied my frog back on, and it is the frogging hour. You can see everything is super still, and these fish should be getting ready to feed. Hopefully pick up a few more fish here before I have to head home. Got him. Feels pretty good. Yeah. Oh. No. Come here. Beauty. On the Senko. Choke that thing. All right, see you, dude. There she goes. He's got it. Oh, man. I'm running away with it. There we go. Got him again. Oh, sick. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's freaking big. Oh my god. Come here. I think I have a good hook in her. Oh my god. Come here. Yes. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting that. Holy cow. Look at that fish. Oh my god. Dang, I missed him like twice. I flipped right back into where he let go of it. That's a really nice one. Beauty. Let's let her go. There she goes. Yes! Nice. Man. Beauty. Little guy. I haven't gotten the last couple fish on camera. Just been having too much fun catching. It's pretty predictable at this point. They're just full-on feeding frenzy mode. So I think I've gone through an entire pack of Senkos today. But I think it's about time for me to head in. Bed fishing is one of my favorite things to do. I hope you learned at least a little something from today. And yeah, thank you for watching.